episode 3. If it's like maybe only like 10 minutes long or something like that, then I'll keep going. But if it's like more than that, I'll probably just make it a second video. So let me pull up my notes, but first let me say, y'all, it got messy. It got real messy real quick, and I was just like, what? Especially with Melanie. Girl, I'm not gonna lie, I could tell that Melanie was going to be a problem from all the little clips that I've seen on TikTok and stuff. Like all the little things I've seen, I could already tell that Melanie was gonna be a problem. So, and it's messy, honey, it's messy. Okay, first things first, starting with episode 3, when, you know, Bea, Gabriel, Trinity, and who else was it? It was Zach, Bryce, and Kayda all make their way back to the villa. So of course everybody wants to explain themselves. You know, Kenzie is still having a hard time dealing with Zach and everything that he's been doing, and Bea, she and Sean just really needed to talk about everything that happened, because obviously they had a really good connection. I personally believed that they had a really good connection, but she didn't pick him. So basically the first thing I wrote down, I'm just gonna read straight from my notes, okay? Oh, sorry. So when Bea was talking to Sean, she was basically explaining how she wanted to still pursue and explore her connection with Sean on top of exploring a connection and relationship with Gabriel. And my first initial reaction to that was like, girl, you already chose Gabriel. Why are you trying to spin back? But yeah, like you already decided that you didn't, you know, like, I mean, that's how I like interpreted it. But they actually, you know, in the conversation, they addressed the fact that Sean thought that if you step on the red dot, that means that you're kind of cutting off all ties to this person. And in Bea's perspective, she was like, oh, I'm not cutting off all ties. Me stepping on the red dot means that I just want to explore more options. And I see both perspectives, but if it was me personally, you're stepping on that red dot, baby, that means that you don't want to talk to me no more. That's what that means. So don't be trying to spin back. But if Sean is okay and Bea is okay, then I guess everything is okay, because it's them and it's how they perceive things. So yeah. But yeah, on top of that, so they had their conversation, and I guess Zach wanted to have a conversation with Kenzie and get an opportunity to explain himself, but Kenzie is not giving Zach the time of day at all. And it's like, I get it, but I feel like it's one of those classic situations where she keeps talking about oh, I'm over him. You're clearly not over him. You can't even have a mature adult conversation with him. And I like Kenzie. I have a love-hate relationship with Kenzie. I think that I think that sometimes she's a little maybe immature, maybe emotionally, just a little bit. I think that she doesn't have a good control over her emotions, and I completely understand where she's coming from, like in all situations. But at the same time, it's like, as women, we need to learn how to control our emotions a little bit better, because if we don't, we're always going to end up getting our feelings hurt, and that's just the reality. But yeah, she is not trying to give Zach the time of day, which is understandable. If you don't want to talk, you don't want to talk. You don't need to talk. Like, and it's still probably a sore spot for her, considering the fact that Zach is in a couple and Kenzie isn't. So Kenzie is obviously like in a more vulnerable spot, and it's like, the last thing I'm trying to do is talk to somebody who didn't want me, who didn't find me attractive. Like, no, you can go be happy. Because I think also another way to look at it is that Zach kind of wants to talk to her in a sense to clear his conscience. So that's great. You get to clear your conscience and you get to go back to your beautiful couple, Kayda. But you know, Kenzie is probably still gonna have her feelings hurt, and then on top of that, she's going back to nobody. She doesn't have a couple, and of course she has Sean, but like, they're not in a couple. You know, she just has Sean. You know, so yeah. Straying away from that, we can kind of stray into Sean and Kenzie. Sorry if you can hear the ice cream truck outside, okay? I don't know why they've been there for so long, but the show must go on. So Sean and Kenzie, I personally say about them, but I feel as though Sean and Kenzie, they're kind of just coupled up to like for shits and giggles. I feel like everybody want to stick together. But between the two of them, I feel like there's no real like deep connection. Like I'm not getting that vibe. I'm not getting anything from them. They give me the vibe of like two lost souls that are looking to couple up, and that's why they're together. But in hindsight, they're not actually together. Okay, next, moving on to Sincere and Kayda. So I definitely think Sincere was a little weird for pulling Kayda for a chat. He's clearly interested in pursuing something in Kayda, and I think that's a little strange. I feel like he wants his cake and wants to eat it too, because you can't be all up in Melanie's face. And this is where I understand how Melanie feels. I just think that the way that she's reacting, that's where it's getting a little messy. Because why are you all up in Kayda's face trying to chat it up with her, but then want to turn around and be like, well, Melanie is the one? Like, there's a lot of comments that Sincere makes that just contradicts each other, and I feel like it's almost as if he doesn't understand how girls work, because you can't say this and then say something else that contradicts exactly what you just said. Like, baby, when they go back and watch the show, they're gonna be like, this boy was lying, So I don't really know what that was about. I don't really think Kayda really cares for Sincere like that. I think if she had to choose between Sincere and Zach, she would most likely choose Zach, you know. So let me look in my notes. Sorry, I'm trying to make noise to cover up the fact that my family is in the background talking so loud. Okay, alright, the next thing I wanted to talk about is actually Gabriel and Kenzie. So I think it was Gabriel, right, that wanted to pull Kenzie over for a chat. So obviously Gabriel and Kenzie are having like some sort of connection, and I think it's pretty cute, but I can't see them coupling up, even though Gabriel did say that Kenzie was his second choice. But I genuinely cannot see them coupling up. I feel like Gabriel and Bea have the best connection, or as far as I've seen in episode 3, those two definitely have the strongest and best connection. And I think that Bea really genuinely likes Gabriel, because she gets all nervous and giddy when she's around him, and it's honestly so cute. It's like a little girl who has a crush. Like, it's so sweet. So yeah, but and as far as Kenzie goes, Kenzie is definitely attracted to Gabe, but again, I don't think that there's anything really there. I'm not seeing it, I'm not feeling it yet, but you know, it might come up, it might, what's the word, I don't know the word, but it might reflect in the later episodes. But I really don't see them being endgame. But from that conversation that they had, Bea was definitely pissed off. She was definitely pissed, because you can tell that she really likes Gabriel, and she doesn't want anything to get in the way of that. And she was being a little messy with during the actually no, we're not gonna get there yet, because that's episode 4. We're gonna focus on episode 3 for now. But yeah, so she definitely was a little pissy about that, understandably so, because she wants to act all like brave and strong, like, oh yeah, go explore other connections, yada yada yada. But no, girl, you like this man, and you don't want this man exploring anything but you. Okay, it's okay to admit that, but I completely understand how she feels, because she was saying how she doesn't want to feel stupid, she doesn't want to look stupid. Baby, I get it, but I think the bravest thing you can do is be upfront with your feelings, and if things don't go right, then that's okay. It's not rejection, it's redirection. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about pertaining to episode 3 is again Sincere and Melanie. So wants to have his cake and eat it too. He wants to explore other connections, but God forbid that Melanie goes exploring. Sincere would be pissy as fuck. I think that Sincere is not as sincere as he leads on. I think that he's a little weird and he's a little messy, and I think that he's just a classic hypocrite, because there's little comments that he makes that just makes him, it like contradicts his actions and what he says, and I don't like that. And I understand why Melanie is really don't know how girls work. Okay, I know as girls it's not a good thing that we say things that we don't mean, because I know Melanie didn't really mean that when she said, oh yeah, you can go explore, it doesn't matter. I know she did not mean that. It's just like, I guess I feel like for her it was a way for her to deflect, because again, we don't want to look stupid. If you want to go explore other connections, then go do that. She's not saying that she wants you to go explore. She's saying that, I don't know what she's saying, but I get it. Okay, I understand her and I feel her. It's like, if you are not trying to pursue me and only me, then go do you. You know, like don't you dare come up in my face telling me that I'm the one and how much you like me, this, that, and the third, and then turn around and go be having chats with Kayda in the corner. Don't be doing that. Don't do that, because I don't tread lightly to that. I don't like that. If you like me, then you're all about me. I don't care. Like, and I'm speaking out of like a headspace of where I think Melanie is at. I don't care if we're on Love Island. You pick me, you choose me, you stand on green for me, then baby, it's me, it's nobody else. I don't care. You don't get to explore nothing. Okay, that's just how I feel. Okay, but yeah, I think that he wants to have his cake and eat it too, and Melanie is about to turn this B word up. Okay, she's about to turn everything up. She's about to let loose, and she already started to. It's getting bad. I just hope that Melanie doesn't overly embarrass herself, because how she's been acting so far, I'm embarrassed for her, babes. Okay, so we're gonna move on to episode. I'm so sorry. We're gonna move on to episode 4, because we're only at 12 minutes. I talk fast and I don't really get into like heavy detail. So episode 4, y'all. Episode 4. Okay. So I'm just gonna literally read with my notes. So starting off, we have Melanie and Casey chatting it up. She is definitely acting off of emotion with the whole sincere thing, but I completely understand where she's coming from. Okay, I wanted to talk about this. So again, like at the end of episode 3, Melanie was like, yeah, like I'm gonna, talk it up to other people, because she doesn't want to look stupid. She wants to make more connections, secure her spots in the villa. So she starts off by talking with Casey, and now baby, look, I know that this is Love Island and everything, but I thought that it was weird how she wanted to talk to Casey, considering the fact that Anaya is supposed to be her girl, and from the looks of it, Anaya is your main girl. So why are you trying to chat it up with Casey? Out of all the boys in the villa, the first one you look to is Casey. Baby, walk away. I think that's weird, because I just think that's weird. I think that's weird. Okay, that's the only comments I had until we're moving on to the boss bitch challenge. Okay, so let me look at my notes. The boss bitch challenge. So Beatrice made a stepping on toes comment about Kenzie. That was before they got a chance to talk and clear the air, but when Beatrice made that comment, I was like, girl, like you are butthurt that Kenzie and Gabriel had that talk. I don't think Kenzie has been stepping on anyone's toes. Kenzie has been literally in her own world and dealing with her own shit, which they do address when they speak later. I'm happy that they sorted that out, but I didn't really like that comment. And I'm gonna read exactly what I wrote. I said, baby, you are definitely getting your feelings hurt, and she's definitely intimidated by Kenzie's and Gabriel's connection, and I stand 10 toes on that, because if she felt secure, which I understand, like they just met, so no one's feeling secure, but if she felt secure, she would not have felt the need to say that about Kenzie. Kenzie doesn't do anything to anybody. She's just very crazy and emotional. Okay, so the next thing I wrote, it's a long one. So even though I totally understand how Melanie is feeling, she's giving very jealous, she's giving very intimidated, and I do not like it, because Kayda didn't do anything to anyone, and she's already being weird and messy on top of that. Sorry, like when I wrote this, I was like confused. Okay, but so Melanie and what she was doing, being weird and messy with Kayda, again, I think it's weird. I think you're giving jealous and intimidated, and I find that to be embarrassing. But Kayda ate messy with Kayda. I don't like how buddy she's getting with Casey, because again, Anaya is supposed to be a girl. Now Anaya doesn't seem to, well, no, she cares a little bit, she definitely does, but it's just like Anaya is supposed to be a girl. Out of all the men in the villa, you want to mess with your girls, man. I don't like that. At least she did tell Anaya. She did be like, yeah, Anaya, I think I'm gonna explore connections with Casey and da 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 da. So at least she told her. But I don't know, I still feel a little weird about it, because like, out of everybody, you want to mess with Casey. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, this was just really messy between Melanie and Kayda. Melanie did start the mess, she did start the drama, but I genuinely don't think that Melanie knows that, like, I don't think she knows who she's messing with. I don't think she realizes, because Kayda does not look like the type of girl that you fuck with and you just get away with it. Like, Kayda came back, she came in clutch. She was kissing all up on Sincere, and then that little comment she made about who needs a promotion from their couple, and she picked Sincere. Like, baby, Melanie is not ready, and I wouldn't even say Melanie has met her match, because it's like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Okay, and the very last thing that I wanted to talk about episode 4 is that whole conversation when Corbin came out. So first, let's just Corbin. So Corbin, 6'2", 6'4", let me correct myself, a 6'4", super tall, super handsome 22-year-old man from Miami steps out, and the girls literally lose their minds, because they already know that Corbin is about to shake some shit up. Okay, I'm here for it. So he steps out, and Melanie is already going through, like, she's going through whatever she's going through, and she's kind of leaning over. Kenzie is the only one of the girls who doesn't have a couple right now, so her and Beatrice kind of was like, you know what, you deserve first dibs because you're the only one that doesn't have a couple, so Melanie is kind of leaning over. She's really trying to get Corbin's attention. She even stills him for a chat. She stills Corbin for a chat, y'all. And Beatrice is just going on. She's like, yeah, I don't really like that. Like, I feel like she was being rude, this, that, and the third. And I honestly agree, but I also agree with the fact that I don't think Melanie knew/realized what she was doing. But when they did come back to have that chat, Melanie got very, very, very defensive about what Bea was saying. She was like getting very defensive and like, oh, I didn't mean it, but you just need to relax, like this, that, and the third. It's almost as if somebody was attacking her, but nobody was attacking her. They were just trying to have a conversation. But at the same time, I can understand why she might have felt attacked, considering everybody felt that way about her. And she got really emotional and she started crying, and it was just really bad. I don't know why she reacted that way, but it's definitely a red flag. I don't think Bea said anything wrong. Bea didn't even talk to her with any type of tone. Like, she was like, you need to watch your tone. Like, Bea was just talking to her. She didn't need to watch her tone because she genuinely didn't have one. So I don't know what's going on with Melanie, but like I said in the beginning, I knew that Melanie was going to be an issue from the very start. So that's basically all I have to say about episodes 3 and 4. I don't really go